I'm here at the Come Rhyme With Me event in Brighton, interviewing esteemed and critically acclaimed poet, also alumni of Sussex University, Dean Atta. Dean.
Hello, Sussex. Yeah, really happy that you could come down tonight. I went to Sussex. I graduated in 2006, and coming back in 2012 to start doing Come Rhyme With Me here was wonderful for me because Brighton's like a second home, so it's wonderful to be back.
Yeah, Brighton is great. Well, first, let me just thank you for letting us cover this event, and thanks for coming back to Sussex. You know, there's a lot. I myself have been inspired by you to aspire to poetry.
So thank you. No, it was great. I was asked to do a poetry workshop at Sussex, which you were part of, and that was really great to kind of come and meet students that were first year students, master's students, postgraduates doing their PhDs. It was really interesting mix of people, wasn't it? And so it was really great to be back in the debating chamber where I'd done many things before.
Many things. Right.
Yeah, like shows and talks and workshops, also, and maybe other things I won't say on camera. But no, it was great to be back on campus.
Editing. There's always editing.
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. What made you become a poet? Was there a defining moment that made you become a poet?
I think I always loved words and rhyme, and I was a performer as a child. I used to do lots of acting and musical theatre, and I loved being on stage. But writing my own words to perform happened in my teens, really, my late teens, and it was about writing about things that I didn't feel I could tell people. So whether it was about my dad not being around when I was growing up, whether it was about coming to terms with my sexuality, whether it was about writing about my mixed race identity, trying to figure those things out before I could articulate it to other people. I think that was where writing kind of really began for me.
Cool. So what kept you coming back? That was what kept you coming back to poetry. It's the thing that inspires you, and then there was, of course, the just not being able to tell people stuff and just writing it down was an outlet.
Yeah, but then the opportunity, once you'd written something, to go and perform it and speak it out loud, but to strangers. So not to your friends and family, but to people that don't know you. And didn't matter if they judged you, but the poetry scene is very non-judgmental. Like, it's very open. And I found that straight away when I was 17, 18, when I started performing in London. And then when I came to Sussex and there was open mics going on campus, and I got to perform at ACAS. And later on, I became president of ACAS and started running the poetry nights. And it was really great for me to kind of be creating a space for people. And this is what I continue to do with Come Rhyme With Me and other events that I'm part of.
Awesome. Your poetry, well, it's quite controversial. You usually talk about quite controversial topics like mixed race people, dyslexia, mental health, and your most famous poem, probably the one that's brought you to the forefront, is, could you remind us what the name was?
I'm Nobody's Nigger.
Yeah.
And I respect you that you didn't want to say that. But so that poem was a poem I wrote in 2012 when two of the murderers of Stephen Lawrence were convicted, and it's received a lot of attention, and it's a poem that I wrote. It's been very interesting, the debates and conversations I've had around it. I recently made a Radio 4 documentary about the word nigger, talking to many different people from different walks of life, and that was really interesting to see how opinions can be so varied and divided about this one word. And it has become the title of my poetry collection as well, so it's very much become a dominant part of like how people know me, but there's a lot more to me than talking about the word nigger.
So that poetry collection is on Amazon?
Yes, on Amazon. It's in Waterstones. You can get it if you come down to Come Rhyme With Me. I'll even sign it for you.
Great. So here's the sort of difficult question to end the interview. If you had sort of, if in your life there was something you learnt that you'd sort of like to put in a time capsule for people to rediscover in 100 years' time, what would it be?
Wow. I wish you'd prepared me with these questions. Wow.
It's better when you get them off guard.
It is. It's a great question. I think to not be afraid to fail. I think just give things your best shot, just to try. And I think anytime I've kind of not done something because of fear, I've regretted it. Things I've done and failed at, I still feel great that I tried, you know. And I think as long as your intentions are pure and you're kind of doing things for the right reason or for what you think is a good reason, I think go forward and do, you know. I think I've been known more recently to be like very much a yes man and just like, yes, I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm going to try. Yes, we can, you know, all of that. And I think that is an attitude that I try and keep. I think as you get older, like I'm going to be 29 soon, and like I start to feel like I sometimes feel like I'm losing that, and I'm saying no to more things. And I think that's because I feel more pressure of being a grown up, you know, like, but I think I try, and certain friends remind me that actually so much good came of saying yes to things. And Deanna, wonderful Deanna Roger, who I do Come Rhyme With Me with, and many other things, she always reminds me about like kind of don't lose that energy and don't lose that hunger for doing and being out in the world.
Yeah, fantastic. So here comes the shameless promotion. So go ahead.
Well, the thing I'd love to promote is Come Rhyme With Me. We have an open mic, which we call our appetizers section, and that's open to anyone that wants to come and share poetry, or stories, or songs, or raps, whatever you want to come and share on the open mic. Come and be in our appetizers. So we're here. The next show is on the 15th of November, and we'd really love to see Sussex students there, because I mean my heart is still with Sussex, and yeah, I'd love to see what people have to say from the uni.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I thank you once again for coming back to Sussex and letting us film the event.
Thank you. Thanks for coming along, and I hope you'll be an appetizer at Come Rhyme With Me soon.
I am nobody's nigger, so please let my ancestors rest in peace. Not turning their graves in Jamaican plantations, or the watery graves of the slave trade, thrown overboard into the Middle Passage just for insurance claims. They were chained up on a boat, as many as they could manage and stay afloat, stripped of dignity and all hope, awaiting their masters and European names.